It's the 80 marks paper in which from unit 1 you're going to get 20 marks. Each question carry 1 mark. 20 questions will be included from unit 1, from unit 2 20, and from unit 3 40 questions are included. From which the MCQs, the multiple choice questions are 60. Each question carry 1 mark. Total marks 60. True or false, 16 are included. 1 mark for each. And match the following, I'm going to give 2 match the following, for which I'm going to allocate 2 marks, total 4 marks. So total is 80 marks paper. I have shown you the match the following, how to do it. I think it's clear to you?
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah, ma'am.
Okay.
Yeah, ma'am. You showed the before the holidays.
Ma'am,
Yes.
ma'am, today we are going to do the revision of unit 1.
Yes, unit 1. If you finish writing this, then we'll start the revision.
Okay, ma'am.
Ma'am, I hope we already start with the revision.
Yes, but you've got in the middle 10 days, holidays now, so you'll forget everything.
No,
So
ma'am,
we will
only
have
4 days we got.
Ma'am.
We got 4
Yes,
days,
ma'am.
not 10 days.
Only 4
Yes.
days, ma'am.
Yes. Okay, so you want me to revise once again unit 1, or shall we begin with the
No, ma'am. Ma'am, up to
Ma'am,
where we
I
done in the holidays,
wanted
let
to
us continue
repeat
from
it,
there,
ma'am.
ma'am.
Like the tooth lesson is there, ma'am, about all the teeth. So I want to repeat that.
Okay,
It is
because a
at
few
that time I
students
didn't
have
came, ma'am.
joined now, Nama, so I just want to ask them whether they want the revision. So we are going to revise today unit 1, elements, compounds, and mixtures. Name of unit 1?
What, ma'am?
Team name of the book. What is the name of your book? The theme name.
Okay, ma'am, you're asking the theme name. So it is destination learning.
Destination
Grow, know, and show.
Yeah, ma'am.
Grow, no,
Okay.
grow.
Okay, that's
Destination
fine. What is
learning.
the meaning of that? Can anyone just tell me what is
Means
the meaning of
first
that?
we have to try to start and next we'll
Reach our
go from-
destination.
Yes, ma'am.
First we should
And
start
we have to
learning
know
it.
what it is and we have to know
Then
what
when
it is.
we shall
At the final, we
know
have to show our talent.
to our knowledge. We shall know our
Yes,
knowledge.
ma'am.
Then
We have to go to our destination and we have to grow and we have to learn all the things
Ma'am,
that
can
means know, and we have to show our talent,
Yes.
what we have learned.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Yes. Who wants to tell?
Ma'am, about this meaning, ma'am?
Yes. So for each and every theme, you have different names of different themes. This is your theme 1, and what is for your theme 2?
Ma'am, for team 2, it is key
Like
to
unit 2,
concept,
ma'am.
unlock the future.
Yes, ma'am. Unit 2, you're asking.
Yes, unit 2.
Key to concept, unlock the future.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. So after exams, we are going to discuss in detail about all these, because even I haven't discussed anything about this. So the new students like Siti Nandana, she may be having a problem in understanding the syllabus, understanding the pattern of the paper and how the books are there and what are the different themes. So I'll be discussing about all these after your exams. So we'll be having the revision first. Okay. So now we are going to revise about the elements, compounds, and mixtures, which is the first lesson. So here, what is matter? Matter is anything that occupies space and has mass. Where we can find this matter?
Ma'am, anywhere,
Objects.
ma'am. Yes,
All
ma'am. Yeah.
objects.
Ma'am,
This
matter
is
is
also
present
matter,
everywhere,
ma'am. Yes,
ma'am.
ma'am. Not only here, overall
Yes,
the
it's
world. This is
present
also
Everywhere.
matter.
everywhere. So, into how many parts the matter is being
Two
classified
parts, ma'am.
Ma'am.
into?
Substance and mixture.
Yes.
Into two parts, ma'am. Substances
And in
and
the
mixture.
substance,
Substances
again
and
two parts,
mixture
ma'am.
Only
Again in
two
the mixture,
parts?
again two
Then
parts.
the
yes
Two
substance,
parts.
yeah,
is
I'm
elements
asking
compounds.
you. Uh, okay. So,
elements,
into how many types is we can find in the nature? The matter is
Ma'am, can I
found in
say?
few types.
Like
Yes.
you're asking their state, ma'am? Solid,
Yes. I'm
liquid, and
asking the
gas.
state.
Gases.
yeah, ma'am. Solid
Okay,
liquid
good.
gas.
So matter is found in three forms, in three states, in solid state, in liquid state, and in gaseous state. So a pure form of matter that has been specific composition and specific properties is called as a
Substance.
substance. A substance is that which has a pure form of matter. Like if you are taking iron, gold, in gold you're having the composition of two compounds, isn't it? Copper and gold will be mixed, it's not a pure form again. So in iron you can find the pure form, it is only a pure form of that. So there are substances which are called as pure form of matter because they are formed with only a specific composition and will have specific properties. It's called as a substance. Matter is made up of two or more substances. They are not chemically combined in a mixture. A mixture is when it is chemically combined, then can you separate it?
No, ma'am.
No, ma'am.
No.
Why?
Because it
Because
is already combined. We can't
compound. Yes, ma'am.
Okay, then what type of mixtures can you separate?
Ma'am,
solid.
solids.
Solid
Yes, ma'am.
mixtures.
Solids.
Okay, solids, and even there are some sort of mixtures like if they are not chemically combined, like
Yes. Salt and
sand and
water.
water, salt and
Yes,
water.
ma'am.
Yes. How you can separate it, salt and water?
Ma'am, if
What is the
by
procedure?
like salt and water we have to keep, and when we keep a heat through it,
Evaporating
so
the
Yes,
water,
ma'am.
ma'am.
The
evaporation
water.
will
Ma'am,
be
the
Yes,
water
ma'am.
will
Evaporation.
evaporate and
Yes,
will leave the
Evaporation,
salt
evaporation.
ma'am.
behind.
Yes, yes.
Evaporation.
Okay, okay. Yes, evaporation. By the
water
process of
evaporates and
evaporation.
salt remains.
Yes.
Yes. So by using different types of techniques, we can get the solid form of a pure compound back. We can extract it from a mixture. So in the mixture, we have two different types, homogeneous and heterogeneous. So firstly, we'll discuss about the substances. Substances are divided into elements and compounds. So elements, coming to elements, element is consists of one kind of atoms. So what is an atom?
Atom is a small
It
sub.
is very
It is
Smallest
very small,
unit.
ma'am.
smallest cell.
We can't divide it.
It's a very smallest unit. We cannot divide it further. Okay. It's very smallest form. It's a simpler type of matter. Either it is physically or chemical. I mean, like we cannot decompose it or we cannot destroy it.
Yes,
So
ma'am.
the examples of atom are argon or the molecules like nitrogen. There are molecules. Then what is the difference between an atom and a molecule?
Ma'am,
It's very small and this is little big.
What is a molecule? I mean, what are molecules? Atoms combine together, they form molecules.
Yeah, ma'am.
Atoms, when combined together, they form molecules. Elements occur in solid, liquid, and gaseous
yeah, sure.
states. Now coming to compounds. A substance formed by chemical combination of two or more elements is called a compound. As I have already gave you an example of gold. How gold is made up of? It is made up of combination of two or more elements. But here we're talking about chemical combination. When a substance is formed by chemically combining two or more elements, so a compound can break into simpler type of matter. By chemical means, compounds have different properties from the elements that make them a compound that make them. So a compound always contains its component elements in a fixed ratio and always contain the same proportion of its component atom. Like the molecule of water. Water molecules, it have the same composition, isn't it? Wherever you go, even you go and collect the water from mountains or collect the water from clouds, water will have the same composition, isn't it? It will not change. Like two molecules of hydrogen and one molecule of, one atom of oxygen. H2O, we call it as H2O. If we just, we cannot do it on your own, like we are writing H2O2, then the compound will completely change. We are changing the chemical composition, then the compound will also change. If we take O3, then what it will become? Like H2O2, what it will become? What compound it will become now? What do you call H2O?
Water.
Water. Then H2O2?
Water. And
Ah,
what, ma'am?
what ma'am?
H2?
O2.
H2O2.
Yeah.
O2 means oxygen.
O.
Oxygen, ma'am. H2
Water
means
H2O2 means
oxygen.
hydrogen peroxide. It will become hydrogen peroxide again. So, if we take three atoms of oxygen, then what it will become? It will become an ozone. It will become ozone. Ozone have how many molecules of oxygen? How many atoms of oxygen? Of
What
ozone.
ma'am?
Three. O3. Okay. Ozone will have three atoms of
yes,
oxygen.
ma'am.
So here, due to
I think, ma'am, I heard somewhere ozone is also called as trioxygen.
because it have three molecules of oxygen.
Yes,
Yes,
ma'am.
So a
ma'am.
compound always contains the same proportion of its component atoms. For example, water, hydrogen and oxygen atoms, as we had discussed just now. So it will have the same composition. When the composition is changed, when it happens only during the chemical reaction, because in the chemical reaction, the atoms, the molecules will lose some atoms and gain a certain amount of energy, which you learn in your higher classes about the chemical equations and how they are being balanced and everything. Now coming to mixture. A mixture is formed by mixing different elements. Can anyone just read it?
Ma'am, can I?
Yeah,
Mixture,
sure.
ma'am.
I want Nehita to read first.
Yes, ma'am. A mixture is formed by mixing different elements or compounds in various proportions. Mixtures can be separated into its components by physical means and often retains many of the properties of its components. Based on components, mixtures are classified into homogeneous mixtures and heterogeneous mixtures. Some mixtures that have uniform composition and properties throughout are called homogeneous mixtures. In a salt-water solution or a solution of water with sugar dissolved in it, the appearance of water despite the solution of salt or sugar is uniform. For example, salt solution, sugar solution, soft drinks, fresh fruit juices, milk, colored water, the air we breathe, and many more substances that we come across on a daily basis are homogeneous mixtures. Some
Yeah, so here
mixtures,
are the examples given for homogeneous mixture. Like Nehita is reading. What are those examples? These are the examples for
homogeneous mixtures.
homogeneous.
Salt
This,
solution, sugar solution, colored
yeah,
water,
Yeah.
milk, soft drinks.
okay. Colored water and all these are there. Fresh fruit juices. Do they have the color differentiation? Like oil and water, if they are mixed, they are being separated. why it is happening, what is the difference between this homogeneous and heterogeneous mixture, what is the difference, why you call it as homogeneous. Yes, can anyone just give me the answer?
Ma'am, the
Ma'am,
daily life
homogeneous means
between.
they mix together. Like
Yes, ma'am.
the two
But when.
substances are very uniform. Like they dissolved or they just mixed and they do not separate. Whereas heterogeneous, they separate. They are not in uniform.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, we cannot
Like
differentiate, I mean,
salt
like,
and. Yes,
yeah,
Yes.
salt and water. When it
water.
is mixed completely, if you stir it, then you can differentiate. If you just taste, then you can come to know that yes, that is a salt solution. If not, you cannot. You can see the clear water itself. It is uniformly mixed.
Which
Even if
means
you,
this heterogeneous we can divide, ma'am, whereas this
yeah,
we can't divide.
yes. So now can just read about the heterogeneous mixture. I mean the next para.
From some mixtures, ma'am.
Yeah.
Some mixtures do not have a uniform composition of the substances in it. Such mixtures are called heterogeneous mixtures. If you take dilute buttermilk in a vessel and leave it undisturbed for some time, some particles will settle at the bottom and water will remain on top. The composition is not uniform. The ingredients of a heterogeneous mixture need not necessarily be in same state, solid, liquid or gas. For example, cement, concrete, sugar and sand, chalk powder in water, smoke in air, kerosene in water, etc.
Yes, you can see the differentiation here. If you mix kerosene in water, oil in water, they are getting separated. We can see a layer between these two. So these are called as, yes,
Heterogeneous mixtures.
yes,
Ma'am, like for
heterogeneous mixture.
certain time they look like they mix, but
Yeah,
when we leave them undisturbed,
yeah,
then we can see they are dividing again.
yes, we can see the differentiation. They are being separated.
Yes, ma'am.
So the reason why they are separated into their respective constituents is the purpose. The mixtures are being separated to obtain pure substances, to obtain useful constituents, to remove undesirable constitutes. When the water is mixed with some impurities like sand or something, then you just leave it for some time to remove the impurities. When they settle down, then you can do the decantation. Decantation in the sense you can just collect the water, the upper layer of the water, which is very clear. So it is called as the decantation. So for this purpose, the mixtures are being separated to obtain the pure substances.
Ma'am,
Yes,
ma'am, sometimes the solid, like liquid to solid, not only liquid to
yes,
solid to solid can also be heterogeneous.
yes. Solid to solid is also
Like
like
rice
for
and
example.
sugar, if we mix rice
Yeah.
and sugar, we can't separate
Yes.
them.
Yes. Then what you have to do for separation?
We have to
You have
sieve
to
it,
steam. Yeah, you have to steam it. There
sieve
are
it.
different procedures for solid separations also, as you have learned it in your lower classes.
Yes, ma'am.
Is it? In your sixth grade, you've already learned it. Okay, ma'am.
Sieve
Then,
it.
so this is about the first lesson of your unit one. So is it clear to you? Any doubts in this?
No,
What,
ma'am.
ma'am?
Any doubts?
No, ma'am.
Shall we proceed to the next lesson, which is
Yes,
atom?
ma'am.
Yes,
Okay.
Can
So,
I?
can, yeah, read it.
Yes, ma'am. Atom. Greek philosopher Democritus was a central figure in the development of atomic theory of the universe. He stated that every single body is a universe is made up of individual small particles. These particles are so small that they cannot be cut or divided further. Hence, he called these particles atomos, which means uncuttable or indivisible in Greek. Later, an atom was considered as the smallest particle of an element that has the same chemical properties of the elements. Structure of
Yes.
atoms. Particles that are smaller than the atom are called subatomic particles. The three main subatomic particles that forms an atom are protons, neutrons and electrons. And the center of the atom is a core called nucleus. Nucleus. It is made up of atomic particles called protons and neutrons. Almost all the mass of an atom resides in its nucleus. Electrons are thin particles that revolve around the nucleus. They revolve in a fixed path known as an orbit or shell. They revolve with high speed.
Okay.
Electrons are extremely small and have eligible weight. The distribution of electrons is in various electronical shells or orbits is called as an electronic configuration.
Configuration.
configuration. Protons are positively charged particles while electrons are neutral.
Neutrons. Neutrons are neutral.
Neutrons are neutral.
Yes.
That
So
is,
one second.
they do not have
Yeah,
any charge.
one second. One second, no?
Yes.
So, talking about the atom. So, firstly, Greek philosopher Democritus, he first developed the atomic theory. He first developed, coined the word from the Greek word uncuttable, atomos, which means uncuttable or indivisible. So, it's a Greek word. Later on, an atom was considered as the smallest particle or the element that has the same chemical properties of the element. So atom have three parts, three things inside it. What do it have? What charges do it have? An atom have particles that are very small than atom are called as subatomic particles. The three subatomic particles are which are
Protons,
present
neutrons,
inside.
electrons.
Yes,
Yes,
Protons,
they
ma'am.
are
neutrons, and
Protons,
protons,
electrons.
electrons,
and
and
they have the charges with them. What charges do they possess?
Like electrons as
yes, ma'am.
negatively charged and
Charge
protons
and
are
proton not
positively
all
charged
charged,
and
whereas
Neutrons are
neutrons are
neutrons are not
neutral.
at all
That
charged.
means
yes,
They
they
are
are
not having
neutral.
any charge,
neither
ma'am.
Yes,
positive or nor negative.
yes. So they are present in the middle of
Atom.
middle of the atom. So electrons are very tiny particles that revolve around the nucleus. They revolve in a fixed path known as orbit or shell. They revolve with very high speed. Electrons are extremely small and they have very negligible weight. Where do the weight of this whole atom depends on?
Ma'am, I think electrons.
In the middle, in the nucleus, in the middle of the atom. The protons are positively charged, but the neutrons do not have any charge. They are neutral. The atom have, I mean, the number of protons is equal to the number of electrons.
Electrons.
Okay. Can you just read the next further? I mean, like page number 4.
Yes, ma'am. Yes.
Snehika, can you read?
Uh, she's muted, ma'am.
Ma'am,
Yeah.
now can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Okay.
Slowly,
The
everyone
numbers
just
of
left the
protons
class.
present.
Yeah, ma'am.
Yeah,
Also, the time is up, ma'am. It's 1:17 more PM.
yes. Okay. Snehika, continue reading.
The, num- the number of protons present in the nucleus of an atom is called the atomic number. Atomic number is denoted by the letter Z. The total number of protons and neutrons present in the nucleus of an atom is called the mass number of an atom. The mass number is denoted by the letter A. Any element is represented represented as XA example
He to
HE4.
He to the power of 4.
Here,
So
atomic
the
number of
example is
helium.
helium here. Yes. Okay, then.
Yeah, helium he is 2 and atomic mass number is 4. The electrons present in the outermost orbit of an atom are called val-
Valency
electrons.
electrons.
Structure of a hydrogen atom. An atom of hydrogen contains a proton, an electron, and no neutron. The, pro- the proton is at the center, that is in the nucleus. The electron revolves in the orbit around nucleus since there is one positive charge and one negative charge. They electrically neutralize each other. Hence, the hydrogen atom is electrically neutral.
Yes.
Ma'am,
Just
shall
to
I
give
read
you,
the down one also?
no need, ma'am, because we have very less time.
Uh,
So coming to the structure of atoms, so atom have the proton in the middle. So it's present inside the nucleus, especially at the center. So total mass of the atom depends on this nucleus, the proton. The electron revolves around the nucleus in an orbit. So hence the example is given here. The example is helium. So the atomic number of helium is 2 and the atomic mass is written at the upper part, which is 4. So I'll give you in detail about all this, about the atomic number, how to write the atomic number and how to write the atomic mass. I think you've written it. Nimira has sent me a PPT in which she has mentioned all the atomic numbers, the periodic table. She has sent me the PPT. And what about others? Why you haven't prepared the PPT?
Ma'am, tomorrow I will send you, ma'am. Today I will do and tomorrow.
Ma'am,
Actually,
actually
ma'am,
I have
only
done
I've
my
done one
PPT, but
PPT,
it is in
ma'am.
my sister's laptop. Ma'am, I'll ask her to send it.
Ma'am, actually one PPT I done, ma'am. One more is pending. Only I have done half only, ma'am.
Okay, then finish it and send me because it,
Yeah,
your homework
sure,
will be
ma'am.
incomplete.
Yeah, ma'am. Except that all done. I sent you also, ma'am.
Yeah, I
I
have
was
received your
thinking that we
homework.
have to submit uh,
No, PPT you have to send
physically.
me. PPT you have to send me
Yeah, PPT,
on the
ma'am,
WhatsApp.
not about the PPT homework.